Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the Microsoft Surface Book 2. So, for this video, I'm going to go a little bit beyond the scope of my normal unboxings, which are really usually just a teaser for like a review that's coming, because Microsoft Surface Pro turned 5 years old in February. And I have the original Surface Pro right here. Right, and this is what it was. This was, the original Surface was the Surface RT, but this was the first one with an Intel processor. At the time, they were named after the operating system, right? Windows RT Surface RT came with Windows RT. This is the Remix cover here, and the thing is, the Surface lineup has come a really long way since then. Okay, and now we have the Surface Book 2, which is the newest model. Right, so the lineup has expanded. The Surface Pro has grown up. You know, we all know what that looks like now. This is the Surface Pro 3, and it's still in great shape. But now we have book and laptop, and I have the laptop here. This one's made the only one that's made out of aluminum, and that's why it comes in different colors. So that's just a standard laptop. Now the first laptop they made was obviously the Surface Book. Okay, and here's the thing. This one now, this is the 13-inch model that we're going to unbox today. It comes with a Core i7, an 8th gen Core i7, which is quad-core, and a GTX 1050 GPU. So there really isn't anything like this on the market. There's laptops like the Dell XPS 15, comes with a quad-core processor and a GTX 1050. And also, this form factor really hasn't been imitated by OEMs just yet. So this is still a pretty unique product. And the 15-inch comes with the GTX 1060, which is pretty much unheard of in a convertible. All right, so let's take the top off of this. Now we can see that the form factor in itself is pretty much the same as the original Surface Book. Okay, so and I have that over here. We can see it's pretty much the same. There's very little difference. There's still the gap in the hinge that we all come to know, and you know it's not a big deal. The only thing that I don't like about this gap is that I can't fit as many laptops in my bag. Obviously, this is going to be a problem for most people. So here we have it. Now this one's made out of magnesium. Okay, so that's why it only comes in one color. That's why the Surface Pro only comes in one color. Magnesium is lighter, so if they decided to go the burgundy and cobalt blue route that they went with the Surface laptop, we would have to, it would be heavier. Okay, so the keyboard looks the same pretty much. One thing that's definitely different is that there is a USB Type-C port over here. Now that's USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-C, which means that it maxes out at 5 gigabits per second, and there's a DisplayPort lane, so you can plug in a 4K monitor to this. All right, so we're going to set this up. This is pretty serious business, though. Like it's got that, the 8th gen processor is, it's quad-core. All the U-series processors previously were dual-core, so you got a serious bump in performance. Now, it's still not on the same level as, say, an HQ-series processor from the 7th generation, but there's a big bump in performance, and it's better for multitasking. Honestly, I enjoy Windows 10 Pro because of Hyper-V, and more cores is definitely better for running virtual machines. So they really went all out when they made this. Now, there's one thing to note, which is that if you get the Core i5 model, you won't. It's dual core. It's the 7th gen. It's the 7th gen. It's the 7th gen i5 or the 8th gen i7. So you're going to be aware. You're going to want to be aware if you buy this thing that if you get the i7 model, you'll get the dedicated GPU, the GTX 1050. If you get the i5 model, that's without the GPU. So that's going to be dual core integrated graphics. And pricing, it's priced as such. The i5 model is $1199 or $1499. They just came out with the $1199 model to lower the entry point. And then the 15-inch Surface Book 2, which is a big deal. It's the first 15-inch Surface Book. That one is i7 only, and that comes with the GTX 1060 GPU. So, I mean, really, if you want, you could use this as a gaming PC. I mean, not heavy gaming on this one with the 1050. You could play some games though, and then with the 1060, I mean, it's a full gaming PC. That's a serious gaming GPU, and it's got a quad-core processor. And then, of course, you can detach the display, but the GPU is in the base. All right, so this thing should be done. Oddly enough, it comes with the Windows 10 Creators Update installed, which is version 1703. So there should be an update waiting to bring it to 1709. I say oddly enough because this actually came out after the full Creators Update did. So, I mean, that update should be ready to go. So while this is setting up, we can take a look at what else is in the box. All right, looks like we got a couple other things here. Let's see. Probably just a little bit of paperwork here, quick start guide or whatever. I don't read through these because, you know, it's the same old thing, right? So let's just put this away. I assume there's got to be a charger in here and hopefully a pen. All right, let's, there's the brick. And no, it does not come with a pen. Okay, so this, obviously, it's the Surface Connect charger, which I'm not a huge fan of. Okay, I'm not a fan of any proprietary chargers. Which, I mean, it's fine. Most people buy a laptop and it's their only laptop, and they get a lot out of it, and that's fine. For someone like me, I have tons of laptops, so I prefer that they all use the same charger, which would be USB Type-C or Thunderbolt 3, and so that's one thing that I'm definitely going to be testing out with this machine is how well it handles charging through that USB Type-C port. Okay, so we have an update waiting, and I guess we're going to have to do that now. So, I've heard mixed reports about the charging through the USB Type-C port. One is that it just takes forever to charge, and you're going to be better off with the Surface Connect port. That would be very disappointing to me. So we're going to try different things. I'm going to try different chargers and just kind of see how that goes. And we'll come back to this after it's done updating. Okay, so here we are, 2 hours later. That update finally finished installing. I'm not sure what it actually installed because it's still on the Creators Update. It has the feature update to version 1709, which is the full Creators Update, sitting there. So that's gonna install next. And yeah, it's been a full 2 hours where that thing was just preparing to install. But yeah, so we're here now. Obviously, the flagship feature is the ability to detach the display. By the way, the pen it doesn't come with the pen. The pen that is attached is my old Surface pen that was attached to my old Surface Book. I'm gonna see if I can get my hands on one of the new Surface pens because those have really low latency, 21 milliseconds. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so you can see that there are some design changes to the base. I still have this plugged in, but we'll unplug it for now. Two USB Type A ports and SD card reader on the left. That's the same. You can see though that it's a little more curved on the top. Very very subtle design change there. You have the USB Type C. USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-C. It's not Thunderbolt or anything, like I said before. And then, of course, the Surface Connect port, which, by the way, Surface Connect is also USB 3.1 Gen 1. And that's worth noting because, obviously, you could buy a Surface dock, and that provides some extra ports, like a mini display port, some extra USB Type-A ports. So, it's worth noting that the Surface Connect port that the dock connects to is also USB 3.1 Gen 1 because, you know, I've seen some people call for Microsoft to make a new version of that dock that has a Thunderbolt 3 port. Obviously, they can't do that because you can only get 5 gigabits per second through that Surface Connect port, and Thunderbolt 3 would require 40 gigabits per second. So we could see the difference. So let's detach the top of the Surface Book. All right, ready to detach. Good. So we can see the two bases here. Now, my Surface Book original one did not have a dedicated GPU, but you can kind of see that it's a slightly more curved around the edges, where it doesn't feel as it feels more flat on the original Surface Book. And I mean, that could actually be all in my head, but there are some changes to the keyboard, some of the icons. You can see that on the new one, the brightness icon has changed. Subtle changes, obviously nothing, not much has changed. Print screen is on F7 instead of F8. So we can see also that you can't swap bases. The tabs over here, those are not going to fit in the new one. So that's a little disappointing. Microsoft says that the reason that they don't sell the base separately, which a lot of people have called for Microsoft to sell the base separately, is because it's made from a single piece of magnesium. So, I mean, I get it, but surely they could take another piece of magnesium and make another base. What people want to be able to do is say, if you buy the i5 model and it doesn't have that dedicated GPU, you want to be able to maybe upgrade down the line and get that additional power. Okay, so that's about it. We detached the display. I've seen some people have some issues detaching the display, and I'm glad that didn't happen. But I started this out pointing out that Surface Pro just turned 5 because it came out in February of 2012. And the point of that was to show just how far the Surface lineup has come. So this is the original Surface Pro, and I just want to bring it out. You can see it has, under an 11-inch display. Let's take the Remix cover off. This is the original type cover. This is type cover 2, actually, but it was similar to the original type cover, except it has backlighting. It ran Windows 8. This is on 8.1 now. And you can see the screen is too small to actually use it as a laptop. It was really thick and heavy, so it wasn't really comfortable for using as a tablet either. And the Surface Pro lineup really grew up when the Surface Pro 3 came out, and it was thinner, lighter. The Surface Connect port, it had this these pins in here, and the pen was Wacom. Everything changed, and then they did books. So this is where I mean, it's just really like an example of how far everything has come, because this is the latest example of a Surface from Microsoft, and you have a GTX 1050 and a quad-core processor, and this is a serious machine right here. They sent me the one with 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage, and it's serious business. It came a long way from a third-gen Core i5 series, which was dual-core, terrible battery life, and Microsoft's hardware products have they've gotten really diverse with 3 different laptop lineups, not including the non-Pro Surface, and they do call the Pro a laptop now, and it's pretty cool. So I'm going to be reviewing this. This is going to be my primary machine over the next couple weeks, and I just can't wait to do more with it. And by the way, it synced my background, which Windows doesn't normally do that. Normally, I have to download the image and do it myself, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.